Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Arena here on the channel. We're going to be starting another Arena run in Hearthstone, and I think we're going to be going against a Priest here, or going up as a Priest here, I should say. And Questing Adventurer here, the other two I'm not really too keen on. Flash Heal could be nice, but Boulder Fist Ogre gives us a pretty nice minion to start out with. Murloc Raider has the least conditions on it. Leper Gnome, another Boulder Fist Ogre. Getting some pretty good early on cards at turn 2 with the Annoyatron. Armor's Champion probably won't be holding a dragon once again. Restore 3 out the target if still damage summon a Light Warden. I want to take Light of the Naru, risk it, hope we get something for heals. Shadow Word Pain for a spell and some board control. What is the best out here? I think I'm going to go with Pilot Shredder because we don't have anything for 4 mana. Bomb Lobber, deal 5 damage, restore 5 damage to your hero. Unholy Fire is nice. Do we want to use Bomb Lobber? I think we do. Jungle Panther, take it for something with stealth, does some damage. Go ahead and take a Mind Blast. Shadow Word Death is really nice. Get some card draw in the Death Rattle. Take a Northshire Cleric. Inner Fire is always nice. Another Northshire Cleric. Velen's Chosen. Maybe should have done a Thought Steal there. Get some more card draw. Might Thought Steal next time. Give your opponent a Mana Crystal. Not too keen on that. Emperor Cobra. No, I'll do an Injured Blade Master because it can heal. Booty Bay Bodyguard here. And don't really have any spells as a fact except for maybe Mind Blast and whatever the heal we have is. Light of the Naru, which we don't want to buff up, so I'm going to take the Trog. Because we want it to still have them damage so we can get... I don't know why I took Cogmaster there. So we can get the benefit of something for later game. Of the buff from the potential Light Warden spell. Cavalier Raider, I could be healing quite a bit with this deck. Dark Iron Dwarf, get us something for 4 mana. And do we want Moopla's Champion or do we want some Murloc Tidehunchers? I think I'm going to go with Muckless Champion just to give us, since we have so many pretty early on cards. Get a lot of presence on the board and we have a lot of reasons to heal. Now, do we want the Taunt or a Mind Control? I'm going to go with the Mind Control. We have a lot of 4 mana things. Mind Vision gives us a couple cards. The last card, do we want a Sapper? Has +4 attack when your opponent has 6 or more cards, or go with the Demolisher. At least some chance the Cogmaster can be buffed up by it, and it's still a pretty decent card, so we have a couple of mechs. And why are these ones still glowing? Hop right in there. We got a lot of 1-cost minions, which could be bad, could be good for us. Interested to see what goes on. Might have been better to take the Heckler than the Mind Control, but Mind Control can be really good for later on in the game just to switch favor. And we have a lot of minions in the hand, so, or in the deck, so this might go pretty well for us. Alternatively, it might just completely fall apart, which is completely likely as well. But I like our odds, and once again the arena timer is taking quite a bit of time to find an opponent. It is taking quite a while. Can't cancel it and try to jump back in, which means it probably has an opponent for us already selected. So maybe we have one selected and just one of our internets is not going very well. I don't know. Yeah, it is taking quite a bit to find an opponent here. I think it's the longest it's taken in quite a while. I think since I played him beta. I used to have where you DC in the opponent finder quite a bit. Well, just have to sit here and wait in order to see if maybe we can get an opponent. Or maybe we're just stuck in the rolling screen until it DCs us. I don't know. There we go. So we end up getting an opponent. Finally, it is a hunter. We're just playing as a hunter. So it should be interesting to see what we can do. Get rid of the Boulder-Fist Ogre, but the Cleric is very nice to start out with. Hope for something earlier on. Booty Big Bodyguard is not too bad. We have a turn 1, a turn 3, and a turn 5. Just looking to fill some holes, and we have... Even if we don't, we potentially could heal the Cleric and get the card draw. Best case scenario, he pulls out a boar or something on turn 1. Now it's taken quite a bit for him to choose their cards, so opening this video is going to be quite a lot of waiting. But I think turn 1 Cleric, maybe get a card draw out of it, maybe draw something else we can play, and then Panther on turn 3. Try to stall out for a Bodyguard on turn 5. Or else a Moveless Champion. But Cleric is our optimal starting card. Gives us a pretty good chance to get something good out. Not as many buffs and not able to get the Light Wardens I would usually like to take on a Priest deck, but all the same, we got pretty decent draft. See, hopefully he plays a minion and doesn't have a spell to kill that off. Arcane Shot actually helps me out quite a bit, because I'm not going to Mind Blast, but I'll take an extra card draw. Deal 1 damage to him. He loses one of his spells already. Have a Jungle Panther this turn, unless we want to just keep spamming heals on the Cleric, which we do not want to do if we can get a pretty good Panther out. See what he has to play. He used his coin to bring out the... Oh no, he didn't. It's a 1 mana. Knife Juggler could be interesting against the Cleric here. Probably ends up killing it off, but we get the Jungle Panther. We got a card draw and 2 damage out of it, even if he does, so looking pretty good here. Got the Rockjaw Trog to put out on turn 4. And hope he doesn't get really lucky and kill off our Panther with his knives, and he doesn't. Fortunately, it does put us in a place where we have to trade pretty unfavorably in order to get some cards off the board, but I think I'm going to just kill that off. 3-5. Trog's probably the best option here. Especially if he has some spells in his hand, it'll buff him up pretty well. Still makes him the strongest minion on the board, and we can put up a Bodyguard next turn. Or else a Cavaldier, but I'd rather have a taunt in front of the Cavaldier. Secret does give us a buff, but might be a Frost Trap or a Fire Trap. Even if it is an explosive trap, he will be using it to not be able to kill off the Trog unless he brings it down to 2 health. Which, in that case, I think I'm going to heal it and hit him for 7, which triggers Bear Trap. Alright. I did heal him instead of putting out the guard because I thought it was an explosive trap that I didn't want to die to. Ends up not being, so it was a bit of a mistake. Go ahead and put out the Demolisher anyway. So he has to choose between which one he wants to kill. Probably going to take out the Trog as soon as possible. Unless he has a multi-shot or something. Still should probably lose quite a few minions in his hand. to the Trog, which is going to be the Stormwind champion, and is he going to hit the tank with the bear, or the Demolisher with the bear, or is he going to hit face? Or face. Alright, brings him down to 3 health, Inner Fire. Could make him a 4/4, but I'm not going to do that. Want to use this when we can actually use our hero power. Go ahead and play the Booty Bay Bodyguard. Has to trade both of his taunts into it to kill it unless he uses something else like a spell. Or he has a buff for his beast, so puts us in a really good position here. We have a slight card advantage. Can put out a 6/6 next turn if we want to use our Cavalier Raider and heal us for 2. If he doesn't do anything, we could Moopla's Champion and buff them up to a 6/5 and a 2/4. Unleash the Hounds. Interesting way to keep one of his taunts alive. He's not going to actually use one of his taunts. Blade Master would be interesting here. Kill that. Kill him. Use Cavalier and then heal up the taunt to where he probably can't kill it. Gives us a 6/6 and a 5/3 and a 1/1. Pretty good taunt wall that he can't kill without anything else in his hand being used, and Demolisher will do 2 damage next turn depending on what he does. We got a lot of plays for the following turn as well. Stone Tusk Boar means he'll probably kill off the Bodyguard. Drake gives him a decent minion and another card. We have a lot of damage next turn, or else don't have lethal, but could do Cleric.
Is someone injured?
And then we could Moopla. Do we Mukla here? I think we Mukla, heal the Demolisher, draw a card, buff him up, buff everybody up, kill that off, deal 9 damage to him and have a pretty decent board. He's got a lot of Inspire and effects that use our hero power going right now, and we do have lethal next turn if he doesn't do anything. Played Blade Master next turn if he's able to kill off the Cavalier. Draconoid Crusher doesn't get the buff, and we do win our first match as a Priest in the arena, so that went very well for us. Got a lot of Inspire cards and a lot of good combos later on in the game. So looking forward to seeing how it works out again against another opponent here. Hopefully can get it going just as well. Start out with a Cleric. I think we have 2 of them in the deck. And yes, we do. And then just continue on with some pretty good momentum. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to find an opponent or start the game, and it doesn't look like it will. And it's going to be a Paladin. So 2 of my favorite classes going against each other. This gives us a pretty good curve to start out with. I'm not going to draw and try to get the Cleric. Mind Division will be alright. Actually, Shadow Word Pain, I shouldn't have said curve because we probably won't use that because he probably doesn't put anything out that warrants Shadow Word Pain this early. And you see he's got an Enraged Wind Fury Worgen. Not the worst thing that he could use. Gives us a pretty good thing to put out Shadow Word Pain against if he does use one. Go ahead and heal him for turn 2 and pass it over. Next turn we get the Blade Master, probably followed by the Pilot of Shredder. Turn to the could use the Raging Worgen, just put out the Blade Master as a target for some heals. Ogre Brute, not too bad for us. Not the best thing for the Raging Worgen to go against. I think we will put out the Blade Master here. It's a pretty good trade with the Brute. Way better than the Worgen would be. Not as good of a trade as the Pilot of Shredder because it would give us a minion, but it's a counter to his 4-mana minion. There is the Raging Worgen, which probably trades best with good Shadow Word Pain just clear off his board, or we could use the Raging Worgen. I think with Shadow Word Pain, keep him clear. Make sure we keep our minion instead of just paint, instead of keeping the Shadow Word Pain. Got a Velen's Chosen, which would be really nice. Shade of Naxxramas. A really good card, but it does lose him some momentum. Get the Mech and the Murloc Raider out. Keep the Cavaldier till turn 7, probably he'll play him. If he goes after us with the Shade of Naxxramas, we can even use Shadow Word Death to kill it off. Or we can Velen's Chosen something. And he does not get the effect, which wouldn't have any effect anyway. Northshire Cleric. Do we go ahead and play the Northshire Cleric here? I think we go ahead and do that. Could buff it up beyond killing. But that would keep us from doing anything else. But I think we do buff it up just for the card draw. Make it pretty much immune to being killed. Heal's probably not going to do anything because it doesn't need heal at all. So we have a 3/7 Cleric, which could do a lot in ways of both board control and drawing us cards. Cavaldier Raider next turn, probably kill off the 5/5 if he doesn't do it. Consecrate doesn't put us in that bad a position without anything else in his hand. Does allow him to kill that off, however. And he plays a Bone Guard Lieutenant. Alright. So we could play a Burly Rockjaw Trogg here. Or I could play a Cavaldier Raider. Burly Trogg, we can put out another minion on the board. I'm going to do Trogg and the Worgen, kill that off, and get a Crocolisk, which is not too bad. 2/3. He's got a 5/5 Shade of Naxxramas, saving the Shadow Word Death for it. Shouldn't be too hard to take care of. He's going to trade that into the Worgen, and he has 7 mana left to do whatever he wants with. Spells will buff up the Trogg, however, and he's got his own Cavaldier Raider, which he'll probably summon a minion to go with, and he does. However, we could use Shadow Word Death on that because it will probably be more valuable to him than the Shade of Naxxramas anytime soon. Let's put out our own Cavaldier and go ahead and hit him for 5 damage. We don't get to buff up the Cavaldier like we would have liked to, but we get it on the board and he'll have to take a Shade of Naxxramas or else use a spell to kill it off. Or a charge minion. And then we have a Mind Blast. So next turn we can do 5, 11, and then he does use a Shade. Alright. And once again we win the Joust. Still could do 10 damage next turn. Probably he'll kill off the Shade though. He gave us a pretty decent opportunity there. That's not going to be that great because he doesn't have a weapon. And that is the least favorable thing we could have gotten. Kill that off, go ahead and heal ourselves, deal 5 damage to him. Brings him down to 11. We have a really good health advantage, but he has both the board and card advantage pretty well after putting out quite a few minions last turn. He's going to kill off the Trogg without losing any of his minions. Same with the Cogmaster. Mind Control Tech is not going to do him any benefit other than putting a minion on the board, but he's in a pretty good position right now unless we get something really big. Boulder Fist Ogre will help. Still able to put ourselves back up to maximum health. If we play something big and we draw Mind Control, they could turn this around back to our favor. Don't think we have an AoE. Argent Lands. Not going to get the buff once again. Just got to hope to draw another big card here. He can kill the Ogre off with his Horseman as well as his Bloodsail Raider, and it looks like he will do that. Blessing and Might on the mind control tech. Just hoping to draw something pretty big here before it gets too out of hand. And Light of the Naru, or Naru, gives us the Light Warden and heals us back up a little bit. The Light Warden goes to a 3/3. He'll probably trade 2 of his 1/1s into it, or else just hit it with his weapon. Gets a secret, hopefully not competitive spirit.
Reporting for duty.
Well, actually, pretty much anything would be pretty bad for us, except for maybe an eye for an eye. Northshire Cleric will draw us a card, or else it won't because we don't have a heal. It's not too bad for us. We don't have a minion to heal, so it ends up not drawing us a card like I thought it would. And we're not in the best position right now, needless to say. We gotta deal 8 damage, and we don't really have anything in this deck to do that 8 damage.
Reporting for duty.
Or to clear off the board, which is the major weakness, and we end up not getting it. So go ahead and concede here. And we go 1-1 in the first episode. So not the worst that could happen, but looking to do quite a bit better next time. But until then, once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time.